What's up, everybody? It's your boy. I'm back again at you with another video coming to you from you know it, always grinding on the construction site. Listen, man, as I continue to try to be the best Ned I can be, I am constantly reminded that this process is an ever evolving moment, moment to moment. There's a change order in place, right? So tonight I wanted to talk to you guys about the change order, right? And I affectionately call that, what happens when the blueprint changes? When everything you've planned, you've crossed every T, you've dotted every I, you've put your ABC plan contingency in place, and you're like, I'm on it. And then life throws you a curveball. And now the blueprint has changed. The change order's been sent through. Everything you thought you were doing or that you planned to do or that you hope to be able to put in place, it's just been just flipped upside down. What do you do? What happens now when all of the plans that you thought or that you planned aren't happening the way that you thought because life has thrown you the curveball? Whether it be loss of job, whether it be loss of a loved one, whether it be a relocation, whatever it may be, whatever may have come up that has caused you to have to change the blueprint. How do you move forward now? Right? Janet Jackson used to have a song, or she had a song called, "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" That's what's going on when the blueprint changes. What have you done lately? Because what you've done before and what you put in place before to get to that point almost is null and voided. For some of us, it doesn't even matter about what you've done before. What have you done isn't even a part of the equation anymore. You are sometimes, and I'm going to speak for Ned, right? For me, it had gotten to a position or a place for me where everything that I thought I had in place was almost thrown out the window because the change order came in. The blueprint shifted. It changed. What was normal for me and what had become part of my normal walk was no longer normal. And I had to learn how to recreate and reestablish and reaffirm a new norm. And that meant changing some people, places, and things for myself. It meant not being accessible or not being as readily available to people because I had to reestablish my new blueprint, the new plan, right? And don't get me wrong, the goal is still the goal. Don't think that this doesn't mean that the goal changes for you. Because at the end of the day, I still have to be the best Ned I gotta be. For God, for me, for my sons, for my community, for my family. That's still the goal. But the blueprint and how I get to the goal had to be reassessed. If you remember in the very beginning of my whole quest, when I talked about being under construction and the 8 pillars of doing so, right? It was about knowing the location, right? I'm that location. It don't get no better than my location. How I want my location to look or be processed is up to me. And so when I build this structure, how it is accessible, how it is utilized, how it is perceived is solely up to me. If I choose to be a man who walks with God, it's my choice. If I choose to be a man who decides to be the role model in my community, my choice. If I choose to be the father that leads his sons down the path of righteousness, my choice. But what changes, or what has changed, sometimes determines on the blueprint, or the things that causes our blueprint to shift. So today, I'm talking about mine. My blueprint shifted, folks. My thinking, my ideologies, my thought process, my mindset on how I get from point A to point B shifted. Still getting from A to B, but how I get there is different. And now for Ned, you know, the difference is that I've decided to slow my walk down, right? Before it was a swift jog. It was I'm trying to get there sooner than later. And I realized over the course of particularly the last year, that I need to slow down and I need to breathe more. And I need to learn how to smell the flowers when the flowers are in bloom. I need to know how to enjoy the feel of the rain on my face when it's raining out. I need to learn how to just embrace the wind when it's blowing. It used to blow through my hair, but I don't have much anymore. But the wind that blows across my face, even when it's this cold, brutal wind here in the Northeast, I still got to learn to embrace it. Why? Because all of that impacts and determines how I move from moment to moment. How I perceive it, how I receive it matters, because it determines how I move. If it's too cold out, then guess what? Maybe we're not moving as much today. Or maybe I'm moving even faster because it's cold out. Irregardless of the purpose of the moment, I have to assess and learn to manage it in a way that works best for me. Think about that. Process that one for a moment. If each and every one of us stopped for a moment and processed and thought it through, how do I move through this moment? How do I approach this situation? How do I respond to that adverse moment? It'd probably be less turmoil, less conflict. There might even be some folks who might actually feel like, yo, I can handle this thing. Stressors might lower. Blood pressure might come down. I don't know. I'm not a medical guy. But I know that when I'm in a calm state of thinking, my levels drop. They don't disappear, but they drop. I rest better. I move differently. I talk to people differently. When I slow down, I process what's going on around me. I take time to just assess what's happening and how it's happening, and then ultimately why it's happening. Why is that going on? Why did that take place? What's the purpose of that going on right now? Some folks may think it's overthinking, but I think that it's processing your situation so that you can work at being the best you can be by thinking through your moments. How do we deal with the blueprint change? We establish new norms. We build new foundations. We structure new spaces. We pause and we take in the moment. 2025. The blueprint is yours. What are you going to do with it? Be blessed. Be a blessing to someone. And most importantly, be the best you can be moving forward. One moment at a time. We got it. God bless you.